Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to another blog, a recovery blog. Hi, my name is Bill MacPhee, and I'm your recovery expert. Um, Thanks for joining me today. Today is the 10th of February 2015, and we see that Saturday will be Valentine's Day, February 14th. And I thought in this recovery blog, what I would talk about is a little bit of how I met my sweetheart. My wife Aileen and I, we've been married for 16 years now. We're going to be celebrating 17th on August the 15th. So, and with Aileen, I have two children. Dwight, who's 12, he's going to be 13 in May, and Hannah Faith, who will be 11 in November. So the Lord has definitely blessed us with a nice family and lots of answered our desires of our heart, and it's been very, very, very nice. However, hasn't always been successful in relationships, and I want to share with you for this Valentine's Day how I met my wife. Actually, I can remember many, many years ago. Well, I guess it would be what, though, 18 years ago, I guess. That just because realizing that just because we have a mental illness doesn't necessarily mean that we don't want to be in a relationship. We all want to be loved, and we all want to have somebody to love us. And so what happened is that I was wanted to be in a relationship. I was very isolated, though my symptoms of schizophrenia were basically stabilized. I had no positive symptoms, the voices and the delusions, the hallucinations. Um, those positive symptoms were all cleared up with medication, and then I was just dealing with depression and the negative symptoms. The lack of joy, the emotional blandness, the blunted affect. I was depressed. So what I did is I seen in the paper where there was this pen pal club or whatever, and I signed up and I started to write this girl who lived 30 minutes away from me in St. Catharines, and we would write back and forth. And in one of the letters, I told her, I said I have this illness known as schizophrenia. And I got the letter back, and the letter said, "Oh, I could not have anything to do with somebody with schizophrenia because my mother had it, and I couldn't live that way." Well, I was all bummed out. Thought, "Oh, Bill, you know what? You're never going to be in a relationship. You're never going to have somebody to love you. You're never going to love anybody else." And but you know what? The Lord, as many of you know, I'm a Christian, and the Lord prompted me and said, "Go over to the computer." So I went over to the computer and I got into a search engine and I typed in three words. You know what I typed in? I typed in mail order bride, and I hit enter, and bang, this website comes up, and it's called Sunshine International. And this, what it was um, a dating site or a place in Hawaii. It was based out of Hawaii, Sunshine International. And if you send money in, they send you a book with a bunch of uh, with with a lot of Asian women in this book. So I sent $60 away, and 2 weeks comes back, and there's this book, and it has 312 women in it. And at that time, I was basically had two criteria for a wife. And the one was that she had to be the same faith that I was. I was a Christian, and I wanted my wife to be a Christian. And then the second thing was that she had to be attractive. So out of this book, there was like I checked off like 82 names, 82 pictures, and a lot of them, a lot of them were basically um, Asian women from Asia. And so I checked, and I told my friend, I said, "This girl here, Aileen," I said to my friend, I said, "This girl here, uh, Aileen, there's something about her. I hope she writes me back." So Aileen was one of the women that wrote me back, and we would go back and forth. And this was actually in 1997. I think it was in June of 1987, and we started writing back and forth. And at the time, my friend Peter Johnson actually um, came to his wife traveled a lot, and Aileen was living in Singapore. Aileen was from the Philippines, but she was actually living in Singapore working. And so Peter's wife traveled a lot, and she was going to Singapore. So when she went over to Singapore, she met Aileen, and then when Aileen came back, when Peter's wife came back, she told me about Aileen that she met with her. So Aileen and I were writing back and forth. Finally, in 1987, well, this would have been 1998 now, January of 1998, I went over to Singapore to meet Aileen, and we spent a couple weeks together. But before I left, I wanted to propose to her, and you know what? And it was uh, I was nervous because I had to tell her that I had this illness known as schizophrenia. So so Aileen, I told Aileen, I said, Aileen, I have this illness known as schizophrenia, and she said, um, "What's that? I've never heard of that. Tell me about it." And so I told her a little bit about it, and she wasn't sure or anything like that. But her sister Brenda was a nurse in the Philippines, so Aileen sent Aileen. Um, she called her sister in the Philippines and said, this guy tells me he's got schizophrenia and everything. What do you say? And Brenda said, well, yeah, I worked on psych wards and I'm a nurse and I know about schizophrenia. And people can live relatively normal lives if they get their medication stabilized on medication, and they can live, fairly normal lives. Symptoms can be controlled. So Aileen took a chance and she accepted my proposal. So I came back to Canada, and then in 1998, August of 1998, I came back to the Philippines, and Aileen and I were married in the Philippines in August 15th, 1998. So that is my Valentine story, and like I say, today we've been together for going to be celebrating 17 years of marriage, and I have two children with Aileen, and it's very, very I like that. I mean, I like being married. I like having a wife, and I like being in a relationship, and I like somebody who loves me, and then I love them as well. And I think that's can be very, very special. So I just wanted to encourage you and tell you that story there, and we'll be in touch with the next blog. But once again, thank you for tuning into my recovery blog. And remember, recovery, the definition of recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else but who you are today. And remember, there is life after mental illness. Have a great day.